You're a
Yo,
freak. How are you?
I'm good, man. You?
You actually put on some size this year.
Trying. I mean, you guys took the real piss, so has something had to be done.
I remember that sushi restaurant. You cut him deep, Fouad.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
him. I got him good.
I cried. I didn't sleep for days.
But you put on like fucking 40 pounds this year.
Yeah, it was a good chunk. I mean,
No, not 40 pounds. What did you put
no,
on
but
realistically?
uh, realistically, stage weight is probably around 10 pounds, actual lean tissue.
Dude, that's a lot though, man. That's a lot.
Yeah.
People don't realize like 2 pounds a month is like like you it's a dream.
Mm,
If you can put on 10 pounds, if you can put on 1 pound a month, which is pretty much what you did,
yeah, yeah,
1 pound a month of solid stage weight tissue is fucking crazy. Like 10
yeah.
pounds is crazy.
And he
I've,
spent he
And
spent
sorry, one
way
more.
too. Go on.
I just want to say when like it's at that level, like 10 pounds when you're starting is not, that's easy to do, especially with steroids, whatever. But like 10 pounds at the level Carlos is at is
It's not. It wasn't
yeah,
even a year because for the first 6 to 8 weeks after the prep, he refused to eat.
no, I remember that. I
He's like,
remember,
"I've got to stay lean." I'm like, "No, you don't."
yeah, and I kept on making fun of him, like, we just haven't put on
yeah,
any fucking weight. What the fuck is
yeah,
wrong with
yeah. That's it. And so my off season was due to start January this year, but I got ill for a whole month. So it actually started in February. So it turned out about 5 months of solid work before we went into prep.
you? Five
Yeah,
months. So you did put
yeah,
on 2 pounds a month. So that's good.
yeah.
But
It was. Do you know what's funny? Because I was like, my off season wasn't that good. I don't know if it was that good. I think I look back now and I was like, yeah, that was a good run. Yeah.
this is you when
This
after
is
the show?
yesterday.
This is
That's
yesterday.
yesterday. Yeah.
You look like a fucking freak.
Tuesday. Sorry. Yeah.
Why are you still so lean though? Do I have to make fun of you again?
Yes,
No,
please, please.
we're I to be honest,
Jeez.
Fuad, to be honest, mate, I had a week off after the show. Then I sort of I do this thing where I just take my time getting back into the gym, and now I'm 3 weeks post show. I'm ready to sort of ramp things up. I feel fresh, mate. Like my joints are good, my mind's good. Like I could just keep doing this
The
and keep
mind
going.
mind is good is a big one.
Yeah, yeah, big time. I love this shit. So it comes easy, you know.
This is that Prague, right?
That's Prague. Yeah,
This is
yeah.
a big improvement from the year before, right?
So the
Yes.
it was I'm really happy with the shows. You'll see here I'll make a comment, but my leg there, my right leg is I injured my right leg around 3 weeks out from the British.
Yeah.
So I done two shows with an injured leg, but it still turned out okay, you know.
Yeah, it definitely turned out okay.
Yeah,
This is good, man. Like this is a great side leg shot. You just still need some
appreciate
work.
it.
Still
Yeah,
need a little bit more chest, a little bit more back,
just
I think.
size. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah,
when are you gonna start eating and stop being a little fucking bitch? What's
right
Last
now.
night. Last
Last
night.
night. But the thing is, I have been eating. I've been doing like a bit of carb cycling. I've been doing 1,000 grams of carbs on some back days, and my sort of my day-to-day diet has been between 600 to 800 grams of carbs. So it's not like I haven't been eating, you know. But
Carl,
I love clean food. I
Carl,
haven't.
I'm gonna ask you an honest question. You have to give me an
Go,
honest answer. Okay?
go. Yeah,
But don't give me an answer based on you talking to me. Pretend you're talking to somebody else.
yeah.
Is it shitty having a sponsor that talks to you like shit? Like,
No,
should you? Would you rather have a sponsor that wasn't like an athlete? That way you don't have to like deal with my fucking nonsense.
no. I prefer it, mate. You feel it's. I'm Brit.
You're
Us British
British.
like to we like to take the piss and that. Like you don't going back to with that meal we had in Vegas. That didn't hurt me one bit, Fuad. You
Yeah.
know, I was like, keep telling me, it's fine.
Well, I think it's because I think if I'm hoping that
Mm,
it comes from a good place.
of course I
Like
do. Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to see you. I want to see you fucking.
Look,
Like,
let's be real.
it would be awesome for me to see you.
Yeah.
Like the gap, like the jump you made this year,
Mm,
dude. If you can make that fucking jump again,
You
mm,
can do it
it's
two
coming.
more times. If you
yeah,
do it
Mm,
twice
yeah,
more, it's a
yeah.
problem.
But
mm.
even one more time, Ben, that starts to put them in a
Yeah, I
conversation
think
of like,
we were talking in the car last night on the way home, and I said like, yeah, you like if you can do that again, you're now in the midst of the first call out ish, right?
yeah,
You're thereabout. You're in that like 3 to 6 range in shows. But another year on top of that, I think you're a threat.
yeah, because Carlos, you have a good structure. You have a little bit longer torso, but actually lends
Yeah,
itself to a nicer waist.
yeah.
Mhm.
And you have a really good sweep on your legs. So it almost like it doesn't matter. It's almost like a Nathan Diasha thing where like even though your torso is a little bit longer, it doesn't hurt you because you have a good sweep on your legs. So it almost
But
makes
if
it.
you can get those lats to come out, it's gonna,
That's
which
it.
is the main focus now. Like we are on full back attack, so it's like
If you can build up that chest to like really come billow out outside of your
Yeah, yeah,
off the fucking clavicle, and then build up the lat like Ben said, then holy fuck, then it's like crazy. You got the
yeah,
small waist into like these sweeping legs, like
and he can pose.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's gonna be impressive, man. So what are
yeah.
you guys
I
doing
appreciate
nowadays?
it.
I just had Joe Palacios on the podcast on the Bro
Mm,
Chat podcast, and he said he's put on a considerable amount of weight too since his showings, but he's still really lean. Are you guys doing the same kind of thing? Ben, is he still eating like prep food? Like
Well, that's what he's just saying. Like,
not just prep food, but like that low amount to kind of come up slowly?
oh, Carl? No, well, I think he's been like we have like a rough game plan coming out, or I say I think you should do this, and then Carl does his own little bit for a while and changes some shit, and then we get together and I have to tell him you have been under eating
Yeah.
because I don't getting him in shape hasn't been an issue since the first two or three shows. Once we kind of figured that out, conditions now we know that gets there. So I don't have an issue. Like people talk about, oh, coming out of a show, staying lean for a period of time. I believe you should do that if you have a trouble getting in condition and you haven't cracked that nut yet.
Yeah.
But if you can now condition and size is your problem, I don't want you hanging around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we're wasting time here. If you're fresh, if you feel good. So the priority was like, and then Carl said he knew he was coming here and we were going to get some good hard sessions in. So it was like from the show to now, getting that quad to kind of rest up and be good. More so that we can get back to hard, heavy training and start pushing food. So now, yeah, like we went through his diet this morning and ramped it way up. So it's, yeah, now we're eating.
Nick Stratton, I just want to read this. Thanks for the super chat. Says, tell Carlos I say hi. I'm
Hey,
doing my cardio like a good boy. Happy to see Brutal Muscle on the
good
podcast.
man. So you should be.
So for those people who don't know, these two guys, Ben is the head of Brutal Muscle and Carl works kind of under him. Is that fair to
Yeah,
say? Yeah.
yeah,
So you guys have your own team. Um, okay, so you got to start eating, right? That's the goal
yeah, for
now.
sure. Yeah, for sure.
So
You're,
what can I
I,
expect to see weight wise?
you're gonna see. Well, my heaviest weight was I was 262 last off season.
That's it.
So hey, man, I'm 5'7".
I'm only 5'8.5". It's not that much more.
Yeah, but you eat burgers and I don't like that. It ruins me. Mine's all clean.
That's the difference.
Can I be honest with you?
I have a huge appetite, so it's
Yeah,
not
oh,
just
right.
burgers.
Yeah,
I
my
love.
appetite's not huge, but it's not low. But yeah, I'd say it's medium. But
What were you gonna
thing
say?
He
is,
he's not a
Fouad,
greedy fuck like you and I.
yeah, can I be honest with you? From my own observation, I'm not opposed to bad food. Absolutely not.
Mm,
But the guys that I see that really hammer high calorific bad junk end up ruining their waist.
yeah, I agree.
Um, and I just don't like the feeling of feeling. You know, when you wake up, you feel hungover, you feel
But hold
groggy,
on.
your face.
Joints.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I never said anything about eating shitty.
No. I'm just.
Yeah, but
This is
you're
just a.
you're painting me with that brush, and
I'm just digging you back now. This is my time.
Ben, what
But
were you gonna say? You got fucking. I see you rolling your eyes over there. What are you gonna say?
No, I'll leave it alone.
No, no, go ahead.
So you ask if he's eating clean. I'm like, yeah, like he just ate brisket and rice and there's no sauce on it. He just had salt on it, right? So you're like, that's insane why you're not covering it in sauce and like, right?
No,
yeah,
I don't care about
No?
pepper sauce. I mean,
Sorry?
I don't care.
No, but what I mean is a lot
Like,
of guys don't see a lot of guys don't see a problem with sauces, and this is why I wanted to leave it alone. Because if you get really pernickety about inflammation and things like that, then all of those little things add up, and a lot of us live in constant inflammation without really realizing it. So we feel okay, that's our norm.
mm,
But
but you gotta, but
if
let's.
you pull out all the things, and then you realize that actually, like Carl said, like having that hangover feeling. If you're sensitive enough, and you've built up enough information, you can get that feeling even from using things like sources and shit like that, you know?
Let me ask you a question, a physiological question. If you're, and we talk about inflammation, like as if you can flip it on and off with a switch. If you're hammering, I don't know, 500 milligrams a test, whatever your protocol is, you got all this juice flowing through your veins. You're eating 500 calorie surplus. You're training your fucking ass off.
Yeah.
You're breaking down tons of muscle while you're training. Your body's going to be inflamed regardless of adding the sauce. No?
Okay. In every situation, with the sauce or without, say the sauce is adding, give it a number.
I
Give me
know
a
where
number.
you're going with this. It's
Right. So,
0.2. You're like, let's remove the 0.2. Okay,
but if
fine.
you do that across many different things
But I
over
don't,
time, like the 1% matters. And when you're trying to be the best in the world, it fucking matters. I'm
but
sorry,
I'm
it
not
does.
trying to say sauce is the way to go. What I'm trying to say is,
It's a bad example because people are gonna go, oh, you shouldn't eat sauces. I'm just fucking saying if there's like a food that you have that causes inflammation in your diet, does it need to be in there?
no one's disagreeing with you. What my point is you're going to have to push your body to break a plateau one way or another. So let's say you're eating brisket and rice, right? That's your fucking go-to. You eat it 5 times a day, 6 times a day, whatever the fuck your shit is. You're eating 4,500 calories. Your body's not gaining. You're gonna have to push it to 5,000 calories, so 4,750, whatever. You're
Right.
gonna have to start push those calories. That's all I'm saying. I don't give a fuck if it's you're adding sauce, you're adding more brisket, more rice.
Yeah, no. What I mean is, and I've dealt with this with a ton of people before because they think, well, I'm eating clean, but there's still something triggering them, and that might be even digestive inflammation. So now
Right.
they can't push that extra 500, or they didn't need to push the extra 500 calories because they reduced the inflammation. They can digest and handle the food that they are eating better.
Right.
So now they don't have to slam up to
So,
5,000 calories.
What I'm asking you is, Carl, what do you weigh?
pardon?
What do you weigh?
Right now, I'm only 227.
227.
Yeah.
Okay. So for Carl to go in the last offseason, he was 262.
Mm.
So in my opinion, what's going to happen if you start eating again is you're going to get back to that weight relatively
Oh,
easily
yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's your new normal.
That'll be my second or third time as well. So,
Yeah, and it
yeah.
gets better every time.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. What I'm saying is for him to get better, he's going to have to go to 270, 275. He's already, if he's,
If it
unless,
was,
unless you're
if
going to,
it's just me, he
yeah.
would weigh 250 right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's going to happen over the next course of the couple of weeks.
He decided to hold back.
That's fine. That's fine. So I'm just asking you guys questions. So
Yeah.
let's say he gets back to 250, 260, right? Your body's comfortable there. You're going to have to push that now.
No, whoa.
Or do you just keep him
Do
there?
you,
I'm asking.
well, yeah, you don't know till you're there. Like, what does it look like? Does it look fucking crazy?
I'll use myself as an example. Okay. So my heaviest was 308. I was pretty comfortable and looked pretty lean, like considerably lean for an off season anyway, at about 290, 295, anywhere in there. This is like near the end of my career. I think to get better on stage, though, I would have had to push to 300 and get better at 300.
I disagree.
Yeah, you can disagree.
I think what's the difference if you stayed at 290 and got better at the same, but better at 290? If the stage weight end up,
You know why, Ben? And obviously, look, theoretically, what you're saying is right. The reason is I had been 290 for like 3 or 4 off seasons, and I was producing the same look on stage. I was always about 30 pounds, maybe between 30 and 40 pounds off of my stage weight at two. I was about near the end. It was probably more like 30 pounds off of my stage weight at 290. I personally feel like 30 pounds off of a stage weight is pretty lean because 10 pounds of that's water.
I understand fully what you're saying. I don't disagree. I just don't want to label it with pounds on a
need to
scale
get heavier. I
because
agree.
it doesn't. The look is the only thing that
I
really
agree with
Can
fucking
you.
I can
matters.
I also add there is a caveat of how easy it is for you to get that off.
Yeah. It is
Because there's going to be
100%.
types of guys that are going to have to do 2 hours cardio, eat no
Yeah, but
carbs.
Yeah, but we're not talking
if we're talking
about
about you, we're
everybody.
talking
We're
about
talking
you
about
with you,
Yeah,
and we
yeah,
can get you in. You've hit condition for the
yeah.
last 3 years
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
row.
yeah,
So
yeah,
let's just
yeah,
use you as an example.
yeah.
I don't, I don't really have this like, well, 265. So therefore, this time we need 10 pounds of stage weight. We've got to be 275. That's not how I
I know, I
equate
agree with
it.
you. But let me ask you this. So last year you put on 10 pounds
Mm,
and you said you've been to around that 260 mark for 2 or 3 off seasons.
yeah,
So obviously you don't have to get to 275. You're just getting better at that 260 weight that
yeah,
you're hitting in the off season.
yeah.
Is that what your plan is again this year? Like if I get up to 260 again and just keep getting better.
The plan is for. Can I jump in on that?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
The plan is bringing his fucking back up. I don't care what your weight is.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like,
Like, it don't fucking
yeah.
matter. Are you making progress? Are we moving in the right direction? Are you healthy? Carry the fuck on.
The thing is, for me, all I give a flying F about, am I getting stronger? Am I recovering okay? And are things just progressing? If it means putting food up or keeping it the same,
Can
it
I
is what it
This
is.
guy, this guy
can I
put
give
it,
you
this guy made the best comment. Hostile athletes must be 300 plus pounds in the off season. That's why Fouad topped
can
old
I
mate Zulik off the roster.
can I give you another example and use one of our so Jacob Rubishow, right?
Yes.
That guy got up to 280
Yeah.
and came down to place third at that Alabama show, right? This year. And he was 8 pounds under his weight cap still, right?
Mhm.
He is a lot like he was always pretty sloppy in his off season.
Mhm.
Now he tightened it up. He went up, he's at around 240 right now, pushing a shit ton of clean food.
Mhm.
And if he chooses to diet down, he's probably within 4 to 5 weeks of being in stage condition and wouldn't lose that much muscle. So he would probably end up at, say, 230 pounds peeled out of his mind. That's fucking 12 pounds of stage weight, and he hasn't gone past 240.
Okay, hold on a minute. I'm 100% in agreement with eating clean and not having a sloppy off season. I've done both. I already know what produces better results.
No, I'm saying forget this. I'm saying his weight hasn't gone anywhere near his previous. And forget how he
I get it.
ate,
I get it.
whatever.
Yeah.
If he doesn't need to be 280 and he's just got way better, basically condition is almost the same. He's added straight lean tissue. We don't need to.
Okay. This is what I'm saying to you.
And sorry, one other thing. We wasted time in his prep because he did get sloppy. So for the first 10 weeks, we're having to churn through body fat that didn't need to be there.
Right. And I'm not saying everybody needs to get fat. All I'm saying to you is this. At some point, Carl, we'll keep Carl as an example. At some point, Carl is going to have to go past 260. He's not just going to continue to grow every year and stay 260. There's going to like your off season's there for a reason. Like you have a certain amount of body fat that you have to kind of put on when you're putting on mass.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm
He's not going to be 260 forever
I
and
think
then
it's just going
end
to
up.
happen by a byproduct. I think it's going to happen regardless, you know.
I guess what I'm saying is at some point, and not because you forced it,
Mm,
that off-season weight is going to creep into the 70s and maybe even
mm,
in the 80s. When you look, if you ever want to get like Nick Walker size,
mm.
that's going to happen. Like you're just going to get bigger. Like when that's why these guys walk around at 290, 300, and they're not walking around at 260 because they're
but the guy that just won the Olympia
what?
weighs 230 on stage.
Yeah, I know that, but
The guy you're talking about didn't win an Olympia
I know that. What I'm
because
saying is,
maybe his waist is too big.
so you're saying Carl's going to win the Olympia at 230?
I'm saying proportions, especially the way they judge things now, trump straight size and mass. And you're just going, we're an
I'm
open
not
guy, we gotta be as
talking
big as
about
fucking possible.
I'm not talking about everybody being big. I'm saying his off season was 260. His weight was 260.
Yeah, I disagree. I'm just saying I don't agree that he has to go necessarily go past that. I'm not saying he won't. I'm just saying that's not a metric that you were setting, or I would set the standard on.
I'm not setting a standard on it. I'm saying it stands to reason that he's gonna gain weight as he.
Not my Karen, go on.
No, you're saying to me, you're basically saying to me, Carl is gonna stay 260 for the rest of his career in the offseason.
No, I'm just saying hypothetically speaking, I'm saying you respond to whatever his body does. If his body never goes above 245, but he ends up on stage at 245, peeled out of his fucking mind,
And he'll look amazing
why did he need to go to 270?
because nobody walks around in their offseason
I'm just
15
saying it's
pounds
an
over
example.
stage
I'm
weight.
saying it's hypothetical.
Yeah, but you're making my set. You're making my point. If he's
What?
245 on stage, he's not going to be walking around in the offseason 15 pounds over stage weight.
Why?
Nobody walks around 15 pounds over stage weight. That's
Penny
fucking
P.
wild.
No, that's not.
Wild.
You see, this is why I think you're wrong.
Who name somebody in the top 6 who's walking around at 15 pounds over stage weight?
I'm just. I'm not. Listen, I'm not saying there aren't. The majority aren't doing it that way. What I'm doing is I'm not defining it by a number on the scale.
I'm not defining it either.
Yes,
I'm
you
saying,
are.
no, I'm not. I'm saying
You're
it's,
going for him to be big enough, he has to be over 265 in the offseason.
I'm
I,
not.
I'm not
I'm
saying
not
he
saying that.
won't be, but I'm just saying that's not
I'm
something that
not
I'm
saying that. You listen to me very carefully. Okay. We'll put a
uh,
button on this and then we'll move on.
wait.
Listen to me very carefully for 1 second. You're telling me Carl at his absolute best, the way you dream of him, the way you dream of putting Carl
Steady,
on the Olympia
steady.
stage,
Yeah.
probably 245.
Mm, no, I'd say 237,
Okay.
238.
Okay. Then that's fine. 238. Then he can walk around in the offseason 265. That's 20, 30 pounds over stage weight. That's
Right.
fine.
That's what
I
I,
don't,
th- I
I
think.
don't
I
see,
think with his
I don't,
structure, if he's 238, which
I
is
don't,
what Martin and Derek are weighing.
Carl, I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to talk about you like you're not here.
All right, that's good.
I don't see Carl in the top 6 at the Olympia at 238.
Okay.
That's why we disagree.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I don't want to put a fucking number on it. You're the cunt that's putting a number on it.
I'm putting a number on it because this is what I'm saying to
I
you.
don't give a fuck what he weighs. I don't care.
Okay. I'm putting, I have to measure it somehow.
I
If,
measure it based on, does he look good enough? Is his back big enough? Is he balanced? Is he proportionate? Is he peeled?
okay. If he was 227 this year, right? And he needs to build his chest and back,
No, not on stage.
That's 220 on stage.
220 on stage.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
him at 238 is going to look fucking stupid.
Yeah. You're saying another 20 pounds. Okay. That
yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, sorry,
You're still
I thought you
measuring it
meant
by
my weight
weight.
right
You're
now.
doing the same thing I'm doing,
You asked me to give you a number. I don't give a fuck about the weight.
but it doesn't matter.
I'm
Give a
giving.
fuck about the weight or not. For him to look a certain way, he is going to have to add muscle tissue, which will increase
Yeah.
the weight. Okay, so
Yeah,
so the
I'm
weight
not saying
matters.
he's going to be on stage at the same weight that he's been forever. I'm just saying the off-season weight does not dictate the stage look at all. And
No,
get
it doesn't.
fucked if you think it
It
does.
doesn't. You're 100% right.
Right, we got
Right.
there, boys. Well done.
What you're not accepting is that the fucking weight on the scale does matter.
No, it doesn't matter. Not as much as you place the importance on it. It's a very old school way of thinking.
Okay, so then Carlos, you're going to stay 220 and you're
Oh
just
my
miraculously miraculously just going to creep into the top 6 at the Olympia.
Oh
No,
my
the
goodness.
No,
weight,
I
the scale weight will increase. That's all I'm
I
saying.
do think for myself personally, if I think I do think I
We
need to be around
started
that.
this fucking conversation by saying he put how great it was that he
Yeah,
put on 10 pounds of stage weight. That's how we
yeah.
started this whole fucking conversation. So obviously there's some importance placed on what you gained.
You two said that.
Oh,
Rewind
so
it.
you don't care about the 10 pounds he put on.
I don't care. I care that we made the enough progress. If you want to label that with the 10 pound
I
stage weight,
think
do what you want.
what Ben's
I'm
saying is it doesn't matter if it looks like 10 pounds or it is like 10 pounds as long as it you put say I
you
put 10 pounds in my lats, he's happy. But he doesn't care about the weight. He wants that to look visually
you
like
said
I
you
don't care
said
about the weight either.
you started with you look like you put 40 pounds on. Well,
Listen,
I would rather 10 pounds looks like 40 pounds than
yeah,
we're
that's
40
what
saying the
Ben's
pounds.
same
trying to say.
fucking thing. If
Yeah,
he
that's I was
looks
about
at
to say you're saying
Carl,
the same thing.
Carlos, if you go on stage next year at 200 pounds, but you look better,
Mm.
awesome,
Yeah, yeah.
fucking amazing. But that's not going to happen.
No.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we're saying,
Well,
we're all saying the same thing.
I think objectively, if I look at myself, I do think I need to be around the 235, 240 peeled in shape.
So
So
it's okay
I'm
for Carl
I'm
to
just
say it,
giving
but
you
it's not
the
okay for me
metric
to say it.
answer. No, no, no. I'm giving you the metric answer of
You
what
two are
I,
having your own fucking
yeah.
conversation.
But I understand
Yeah.
what Ben's saying.
Okay, Ben, if Carl wasn't here and we were having, well, you know what, let's just move on. If Carl wasn't here, we were having this conversation, you would still be saying the same thing. You would,
Yes.
you
Yes.
would say to me,
Yes.
I think if he weighs this much,
No,
he's
I'll be saying the same thing as I'm saying right now. I promise you.
okay.
You think I'm changing because he's on the fucking screen? No.
No, I'm saying we've had these bodybuilding discussions before about
I
everybody. About everybody.
understand. Yeah, I understand the need to define it with a weight, but I think that gets overused and over focused on by young kids, and they
Can a bodybuilder look better without weighing more? Yes. A physique can change, can get more detailed, can get more round, can peak
I
better, 100%.
no wait. I'm not saying he's weight. My point being is his weight is obviously going to go up. I just it does it's not something that I'm concerned about or looking at or using as a gauge.
Okay. Then that's a good place to go from this discussion. As a coach, no, I'm serious. It's important for
Okay,
people.
okay.
It's important for people to learn. If you're gonna teach your ways, because you're a top level coach, I'm not. So, what's the metric in which you measure Carl's progress over the course of the year to make sure that he's still making progress?
So for me, I want him to be in a place where his body is responding at all, like the whole year round. So typically, and I've done this, so I can speak, it's not like I've always been this like boring twat about it, right? I've done the big fucking off seasons and then the chaotic diets down and this and that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's so much better just to do this and keep going and be able to stay consistent and not have high blood pressure and not run into digestion issues and not stress your body out and redline it in an off season. And then you don't have to come down as hard and aggressively and you just end up making pretty steady progress like this, rather than, yeah, you might end up getting there eventually in the same manner.
Mm-hmm.
But I just find this is just smoother and easier. Carl just had his easiest diet ever. We ended up feeding for like we dieted for longer, but I didn't have to necessarily push the diet down as hard. And then at 5 weeks out, I just started feeding the fuck out of him to the point where all of his training day food was high days. I pulled all of his cardio out because the body's just now is happy as fuck.
So you don't
It's
want, so your philosophy is, I don't want to get the guys as heavy as they don't need to be. But what are you measuring week to week? I'm talking about like more specifically, like narrow it down to like Carlson.
so
So Carl sent pictures this week, then he sends pictures next week and the week after. What do
So
you?
it's pictures, but then it's also like one just knowing that you're talking to him. So okay, and for a long time, Carl and I had an issue with this because he wouldn't tell me anything because he's like, "I'm all good, carry on. I'm all good, carry on." Then it got to the point where I'm like, "You have to fucking tell me," versus running into a fucking brick wall over and over again because that's the way we do it. It's hardcore, and now you're fucked. You're sick. You're injured. Something went wrong. We got to take a break. We're behind. Now we've got to, because you just went, this is the way. I've got to be miserable. I've got to pack food away. I've got to train till everything hurts. I've got to put on the size. I understand there is an element of that, but I think it gets carried away, right?
Yeah.
I think you can get there and take 10% off and be just fine. That extra 10% that people try and reach for because we all want to do more to get more ends up costing you in the long run.
Mm.
And
It's
then you
like
end up
how
having to diet harder, and now we've lost time where we could be just been making nice steady progress.
yeah, yeah.
So you're saying be more moderate in your approach.
Yeah, I'm saying everyone could probably take, generally speaking, the bodybuilding like traditional format, you could take 10% off of each end.
I think we've all done it in the past. Say you get to 260 because we've been talking about 260, and you might be visually quite chunky,
Yeah.
and you think, oh, I'll just push to 270. I push to 270, and then you're trying everything in your power
Yeah.
to get to 270,
Yeah.
and just you put on unnecessary body fat at this point, I
Mhm.
believe. So how much of that is actually equating to muscle tissue because you're not you actually utilizing the food, you're not digesting your food, you're constantly in a constant state of just being fucked.
But I don't know if
And I
So,
that's
think,
so,
how, but I don't know if
so,
that's the common, I don't, I, people DM me. I don't feel like that's the common way they do
mm,
things now. When
okay,
people DM me, I feel like they say, I'm 260 and I'm chunky. They're like, I'm going to mini cut. That seems to be
oh, so
the
the
more
other
common
issue
way
is
people are
people
doing things.
staying,
yeah,
the other issue is people staying too fucking lean, which I do have an issue with
Oh
too,
no, hold on, hold on,
right?
hold on. I just want to go back for 1 second. Let's say, let's use Carl's example. 260, you're chunky, you kind of look like shit, like you're like 15% body fat, maybe. And they're like, I'm going to mini cut to 12% or something. That's what I see happening. Like when people DM me, that's what I see happening a lot. And then they go back. So in your example, Carl, they're not saying anymore, I'm 260, let me push to 270. They're saying I'm 260, let me go back to
come out,
250 and
go
start
out.
again.
Yeah,
So, so here's, you asked, let me go back to, you said, how do I, how
Yeah,
would I
yeah,
th do
yeah.
things for checking? So, okay, you obviously have the look pictures, we talk, but then I also have a check-in tracker. So he's logging his fasted blood glucose every morning too, right? Which I think is a big it's a pain in the ass, don't be wrong. It's fucking, if you want to time it, it's boring, it's
Can you
not hardcore,
explain
it's not
why
fun.
fasted blood glucose is important?
So that shows you, or it's a decent indicator of how well you're tolerating glucose or your insulin sensitivity, right?
So how well you're processing your carbs for people who don't know what that means.
Right.
Okay.
So in an off-season, carbohydrates are probably your prime macronutrient, right? And they're
Yeah.
your energy
Yeah.
source. So they're going to be pretty high. Well, and then you add in pharmacology and growth hormone, even without growth hormone, just you're going to get desensitized over time just from pushing food and
Right.
taking even testosterone, right?
Right.
So to be able to shuttle like being insulin sensitive is desirable because it's going to mean that you can push the nutrients into the muscle cell rather than it's getting stored into body
Of
fat, right?
course.
Because if the cell is sensitive, you have if you have good blood glucose in the morning, it means your cells are still freely uptaking and utilizing glucose and metabolizing it efficiently, right?
Right.
So the point where that starts to creep up tells me I probably wouldn't even have to necessarily see the picture, but I'm like, I bet you he's starting to get a little softer. We're probably getting some bloat, some water, some body fat
Yep.
accumulating.
Yep.
So I would rather keep them in a place where they were instant sensitive. And I don't think you can just keep throwing Lantus and Humalog at it until you get it right. Like that will help to some extent, but you're just fixing shit and you're going to end up getting fat still,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Eventually. So it just takes, that's more of a tactic to take strain off the pancreas versus actually making you more insulin sensitive, right? It's not making you more insulin sensitive, it's just taking the strain off the pancreas.
Yep.
Um, so I would rather keep my athlete for 12 months a year relatively insulin sensitive because I know that at any point they're able to grow muscle or burn body fat pretty readily.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Whereas you start letting that, you pound up and you go, okay, I
That's
was let's say I was 295, right? For instance, say you were 295 and in theory, your blood glucose was quite well managed. And then you go, okay, I need to get to 310.
yeah, yeah.
Well, by the time, maybe at 300 pounds or 302 pounds, your blood glucose just goes,
Yeah, yeah.
you,
It's happened to me.
right?
It's happened.
Right. And then so now you go, yeah, but 310,
No, no, no.
fuck it,
No, no,
310,
no.
let's go. Boom,
No.
boom. Right.
That that man is the old school way, which I don't agree with.
Right, but and so that's why I'm saying I don't like the thing of the number. It's a small piece of like the
Number is a piece of the
decision.
puzzle. Yeah.
Yeah, and the decision making process is way, way bigger than a scale number.
All I was saying is it's part of the metric of measurement. It's not the metric.
Everything is information
Yeah.
that you can then make a
Yeah.
decision on, for sure. Yeah, yeah.
So I think that's why people do mini cuts. Obviously, they're trying to resensitize,
Yeah, I was just
right?
about to say
Because
that. Yeah,
I've always said before, like, there's periods in my career where I just felt like I was oversaturated.
Mm,
That's what I mean when I say oversaturated. I'm saying like I got desensitized, like my body just
yeah.
was not processing carbs, and
Uh,
that happened because I would be like, we never did mini cuts when I was coming up. We were just keep pushing through. And somebody said this in the chat, and I actually do kind of agree with this, but I think there's ways to manage it. I think when you get to a certain weight, you just stay there and let your body
yeah,
grow into it.
marinate at it, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
But
yeah,
that's saying marinate.
yeah.
Go
That's
ahead.
I was literally just about to say that I think sometimes it's more feasible just to get up to a body weight and just hold it there because equally doing these mini cut, I'm not a fan of these mini cuts to be honest.
Well, if they're utilized
I,
too often,
if
I think it can just
yeah,
set you back.
I think so.
Then,
If you push for 8 weeks and then I'm going to have a mini cut, I'm going to push, and it just you're not actually allowing you're not giving yourself the opportunity to actually grow substantial muscle at
Right.
all.
Right.
You have to get put on weight. I know when I get up there and I sit out there and I'm pounding at the train and I'm inclining 180 for 10 reps. I'm fucking 7 plates on the Cybex hack squat. It's not,
Yeah.
you know, you're pounding the weight and my body's utilizing that food. Boom, boom. I'm sensitive. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. I'm using it. I'm recovering. Go, go, go.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, so,
sorry, just another. How many times have you like started the prep, and for the first 4 weeks it's like a grind, and then all of a sudden you hit like a stride.
oh yeah,
Mm.
for
You're
sure.
like, oh, I feel fucking phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
my cardio is a little bit better. I can train harder in the gym. My recovery is perfect. I'm like, so why did we waste the first 4 weeks? Like, why did we spend the last 4 weeks of the off season getting fat to then spend the first 4 weeks of the prep putting that
Ben,
unnecessary shit off?
this has been an ongoing debate for the 30 years that I've been in bodybuilding.
Yeah.
It's always the debate. It's the debate. I've had this debate with Greg Doucette. I've had this debate with like numerous people. The thing is, look, I'm not a scientist. I can't fucking explain it. Yes, it would make the most sense from 4 to 8 weeks. Everybody who's done a show knows from 4 to 8 weeks is the fucking sweet spot where you just feel incredible, right? So you're like, yeah, why not just stay there and just keep bodybuilding?
Wait, 4 to 8 weeks out, you mean? I'm talking like if you do a 20-week diet, at 16 weeks out is when you feel like, oh,
Wherever you start your diet.
like 4 weeks
Yeah, yeah,
into
Yeah.
off the
Yeah.
back of a bulk, right?
yes, yes. I'm thinking because I usually started my preps at like 12
Yeah,
weeks.
let's just say 4 weeks into a
Yeah.
diet.
4 weeks into a diet, your body starts fucking humming along and everything's fucking running awesome. That's for
Mm.
sure the sweet spot. I can't explain why. The guys I've seen that have put on significant amounts of muscle just get fucking heavy. They all
Yeah.
have. And
So
I have yet to see somebody, maybe Carl is a good example. Carl put on 10 pounds this year and didn't get overly heavy.
no, but well, hang on, because
It's still heavy for me.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
contradict myself, right?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you can do that without having the meat on the bones first.
So now we're getting somewhere.
So
Well, if you're a beginner,
you have to have the strength. Like he's got the strength where I know he doesn't need to get stronger right now. He just needs to utilize the strength he does
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
okay.
But
Yeah.
if you don't have that mass to be able to push that weight in the gym to create the stimulus, you got to get there first.
So explain what you mean when you said you're going to contradict yourself. What are you contradicting?
That you do have to at some point,
Bulk.
yeah, you've got to bulk. I think, yeah, you've got to push
Well,
and
because
get
listen, that may
uncomfortable, and you've got to take the body pass to get that foundation of mass,
be
right?
now we're talking. Now we see kind of eye to eye. Everybody I know, like if you take Ian, for example, Ian's a great example of this. For the last half of his career, maybe more, he stayed lean in that same sweet spot that you're talking about 4 weeks into a prep. But he told me he had a couple off seasons where he just fucking got big. Like,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And
But his
I did the same thing. There was a couple off seasons where I just got sloppy.
right.
And then I didn't after that.
But can I give you an analogy? Here's how I view it. It's like you take a Corvette, whatever your fucking car that you like is, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's at 0 on a drag strip.
Yep.
While to get it up to 100 miles an hour, you got to fucking put your foot on and burn a
Yeah.
shitload of
Yeah.
fuel,
Yeah. Move it. Yeah.
right? Once you're up at 100, what do?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to keep
It moves a
going
lot.
down
It
that.
moves a lot easier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've got the momentum. And so that's what I mean. Like my analogy is like, okay, if you look at a beginner to an open class, say it's a decade, right?
Mhm.
I'm like, you got to go like here, and then you can start to let it.
See, now we're talking. It depends on who you're talking about. And we had this conversation when we were talking about, I think me and you, Ben, we were at a house. We were at an Airbnb in Houston. This is going back 3 years now.
With Justin Shire there.
Justin Shire. And we were talking about Justin's progress. And we
Yeah,
were saying at some point, this motherfucker's got to get big, big.
yeah,
Right. And
yeah.
he hadn't done that yet. And I don't know if he has yet. He's put on more size, obviously. But there's two ways to go about it. And we've talked about this. There's the guys who take longer to get there and the guys who do it in a shorter manner. Sometimes, like Carl said, the guys do it in a shorter manner can blow out their fucking waist in the process.
So this is what I was going to say. The one of the nice comments I've had is how much clean muscle I've put on, and how it kind of in the waist is still tight, and I'm growing at a good rate. It's not like a forced look.
Yeah.
So that to me, Fuad, that's just something I'm like, this is working.
Yeah.
So let's not change the
Carl, if
let's not change it.
you put on 2 pounds of muscle a month like you
Yeah,
do,
yeah.
I wouldn't fucking change shit. You guys
No,
you guys seem to have
yes,
a
it's
great
locked
formula.
down. I mean, obviously, me and Ben have been working together for 5 years. So
Yeah.
and as many people know, I've said many times, I've known him for 10, 15 years plus. So
Mm-hmm.
building up that rapport, and as Ben said, he knows me very personally. He knows how my mind works. He knows when I'm going to lose my head. He knows how to bring me back down to earth, and he knows how to make me grow.
I think
So
that's just as important as anything else. The fact that he knows your
hugely,
mental state.
hugely, hugely.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys
He's someone,
take that for granted.
yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
I think that's the negative. Sorry to interrupt you, just real quick.
No, no,
I think that's the negative of jumping from coach to coach to coach to coach. You do learn, you like kind of like, oh, I learned that guy's techniques and that guy's techniques and that guy's techniques, but you don't ever get what you guys have, which is like,
It's
yeah,
the
and
intrinsic stuff.
do you
yeah,
know what? You have to fail. You have to fail to learn from it. Do not be afraid to fail to then get better.
yeah,
Because hell, me and Ben have done peaks, obviously, and we stood back and was like, that wasn't very good, but we learned
right.
from it.
Dude, the peak with your pro card was a last minute salvage.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Ben, have you learned over time? Because I know some of your peaks got kind of intricate.
No, no, yeah, they did. And now,
That's what I'm saying. You've learned like it's not,
because
yeah,
rather than swinging for the fences here and here, like even on a macro level, like off
Mhm.
season to preps, the
Even in a peak.
yeah, just like, okay, let's just.
Because I know,
And the way we're doing it, like, and I've done it with pretty much everyone this year. It's like if you're ready early, and then we're at a point where, obviously, weight cap aside, that's a different situation. But if I'm dealing with a guy that doesn't have to worry about a weight cap and we can feed into the show, like I had, and you talk about spending time with the coach. I've got 4 guys doing nationals this year, and 3 of them I've been coaching for 4 to 5 years, and it's
yeah,
staggering the maturity in their physiques. And it's not a pat on my back. That's just it overnight success happens across a decade, right? 5 years,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
It's not, it's time. And I've got kids that do one show, and I'm like, listen, Ronnie, was it Ronnie won? Ronnie did 13 pro shows before he won his first pro show, right? He did 20 pro shows before he won his first Olympia. You look at Samson. So I think a lot of people get a little misguided on expectations and competing and their potential, or their ceiling, if their first show doesn't go
yeah,
I think
like
I think
Hollywood, right?
I think what happens is this is just my honest opinion. People look for this home run and a highlight reel on Instagram when
yeah.
really the lessons are in losing. and their lessons are in standing on stage with some of the best athletes that you can be around to help you level up as an individual. And sometimes that does take place in 12th, 13th, 8th, but you stood among some of the best amateurs, pros, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And that's will make you level up as an athlete.
I mean, having the patience to go through it all is part of the problem too. Like you said,
True.
guys want to maximize that highlight reel on social media, so they don't necessarily take the time that they have to take.
And they
go on,
they,
Dan. Sorry.
they get freaked out with their age too. They're like,
Mm.
oh, I'm late in the game. Like, you're 27. Relax.
Well, I can't listen. I don't think you're wrong, but I don't blame them for feeling that way, because there are some guys that are just like, you're always comparing,
Yeah,
right?
but that's what I mean. But it never was in the forefront of your face. Now it is. The
Right.
freaks, that 1% are here. You used to have to go look for the 1%.
Well, I mean, look, you see Joan, and you see Vito, and you see these guys that are like fucking 25, 26,
He
27.
had to walk out in front of me at the British, and I was like, "Fuck!"
Yeah,
Who did?
The Spanish
based
guy,
Joan.
John,
Yeah.
and he just goes boom, and I was like, "I've got no lats."
He's a big fucking kid.
He's a big dude,
Big,
man.
big
He's very,
Spartan.
very nice too. He's very nice.
I heard, yeah,
He's a
yeah.
lovely guy. Yeah.
He's competing this tomorrow, I think.
Japan,
Is Japan tomorrow or Sunday?
Japan, Sunday,
Sunday.
Oh wait,
I think.
today's Friday. Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
Sunday.
No, today's Thursday.
Oh, today's Thursday. I'm all over the fucking place.
yeah.
Today's Thursday. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
James and Johan and
That's it.
who's
Did you see
Mark
the
Hector.
lineup?
there's
Mark
more.
Hector.
There's
It's
Mark,
a it's a deep
Joan,
line. It's a
Sean
big lineup.
Corrida,
Yeah,
Oh, Sean
James.
is too.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think Sean might be able to win this fucking show.
yeah.
I don't know. What do you? I don't know what you.
I see James looks good.
James is looking like, I said this in a previous podcast. James is looking like his peak is going very, very smooth. Like, it's not all up and down and shit. It's very
This is
like,
why and ask Carl, like when we've done, you've seen Carl's, people have seen
yeah,
the
yeah.
YouTube video of Carl's peak for Texas. I mean, and we still did that for Prague, but for the British, we did almost like a walk on.
Yeah.
Like, and we were talking yesterday, man, I kind of prefer the British look
I'm gonna.
where we didn't
Well, that's
swing for the fence, right?
yeah. There's no fucking. I've told you before. My best showing was like we just
Did nothing, yeah.
walked on fucking stage.
That's something I'm doing more and more with my guys. Is
Dude,
but I think you got to preference it to the athlete. You've got to say, hey,
Don't get me wrong,
this is
like
how we go. Yeah,
yeah, so
yeah.
Carl, I got to tell you, man. Out of all my fucking preps, I think I've done 20 something shows,
Hmm.
20 something pro shows.
Wow. Yeah,
I think the that's where I'm 100% on board with Ben, in that the less you have to do to
yeah,
get on stage, the
yeah,
better you're gonna fucking look. Like, the better
yeah,
your peak is. If you
I
can get
think
yourself to a point where you're 1, 2, 3 weeks out, where you're like, you look like you could just walk onto a fucking stage, it's just the likelihood of you fucking your peak up.
yeah,
It's so much smaller.
yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
kind of
I agree. I mean, I've said it to guys before, like, we're just going to the gym. There's some of
yeah.
your best looks. Are
Yes,
you posing after you train? We're
Carl.
going to the gym. Keep the water the same, sodium the same. We're just gonna keep you.
You just
Yeah,
fucking, you just reminded me.
yeah,
John used to say that to me.
yeah,
So I used to have this thing. People who know me obviously know I'm like a fucking anxious person, can be an anxious person, can be a little bit neurotic. So every time a prep would start, I'd be like, oh, fucking prep's starting. I gotta lock in. I gotta do that. And John would be like, dude, we're just eating and training, man. You're just fucking going to the gym. Just go to the gym, train, and just eat the fucking food. You're not doing, nothing else is changing. You're just gonna clean up your diet and go fucking train your ass off. And
but
it was such a reminder when you said that to me, that it's
yeah,
like, it's so crazy that like
yeah,
you do this thing, everybody does this thing in their mind, like, oh, I'm starting to prep. In reality, all you're doing is cleaning up your diet and going to the fucking gym.
it's crazy, right? There's like this weird thing where it's like you look for the magic, right? The magic in the off season is this whole
Mhm.
new script
Mhm.
of what we're doing, and then the prep, it's a whole new script of what we're doing, and then peak week, wow, let's like really fucking have football on here.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are we doing this?
Well,
Why are
yeah,
it's like you've said to me all the time with like someone like Samson, for example, the magic in Samson is that they didn't do anything. They just fucking
Right.
ate and trained and fucking didn't pay attention to anything else.
Yeah.
And it just
What
Yeah.
kept creeping up.
I'm about to say this because we all know this, but the magic is in the consistency. The magic is in the discipline.
I
The
keep
magic
calling it
is
I keep calling it boring, right? I'm sorry to be boring, but the
mm,
boring fucking is
it
like
works.
Yeah.
it's a good way to
Mm,
describe it to the layman because it is what it is. It's just go again, go again, go again.
Yeah.
And then and the guys that really embrace that and I can see it, they don't view their bodybuilding as preps,
No.
right? It's just this continuation of progress,
Yes.
right?
Something
Of
I spoke
whatever it
about
is.
quite often on this prep was the love for the journey. Remind yourself you love the journey.
Most
You
people
know,
don't
I
though.
yeah,
I
I
got to
can
tell
only
you,
speak for my
Carl.
yeah, fair.
Actually, I shouldn't say that.
I can only speak for
I think
myself, I
I
guess.
think most people love it after the fact. I think when you're in it, from what I can
Ah,
remember of being
yeah, yeah,
when you're in it, you're waiting for the fucking end. You're like, I want to get to the show. I want to fucking show what I've done. I want to stand on stage.
yeah,
You don't really like, oh, I love doing cardio. Like, you don't think
yeah.
about
So
that till after.
so I totally get that, and that's something I speak about is like the daily. I know I don't want to jump on the back of Hunter's thing, but the daily mini wins. There's going to be daily mini wins.
Yes.
Enjoy the journey, like hell. Not to go down the road, but we're eating 6 meals a day. You
Right.
know, you're not suffering. You're not really suffering. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. It does get hard, but it could be worse.
Yeah. But the
Um,
hard in bodybuilding is not the act of
no,
bodybuilding. The hard in
no.
bodybuilding is the monotony of it.
Yeah, yeah, right,
Well,
for sure.
and but also the hard, and this is what I was talking about earlier. The hard is those two end extremes.
Yes.
So if you can knock those two out and stay here,
Yeah. But that's the thing is staying there is just fucking monotonous.
monotonous. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But that's where if you look at
See,
the
Ben,
guys that
that's a
are,
perfect example. Like in the off season, let's say you say to Carl, I don't care about your weight. So you're in this perfect place where you're staying all year. For an athlete, there's nothing happening. So
yeah.
it's boring as fuck. You're like, well,
I love it.
let's make the weight go up. Let's make the weight go down. Let's do something that's crazy. Like that's kind of how like
Listen, like for some, depending on the athlete too, like I don't always like for me, a coach, I have like a preferred system, but I'll also work with an athlete based on what works for them.
yeah.
Right? Because not everyone has the same lifestyle and the same mentality. So it's my job. Like, I don't want to I won't ever just completely yield, but I will bend to try and get the best out of the athlete here because eventually I'm going to get them somewhere to a point where we can meet in the middle, right?
Well,
And get it.
the reason you bend is because you've learned and we've seen from other coaches that the happiest um the happiest athletes mentally are usually the ones that make the most progress.
Yeah.
So if you can bend to somebody's
Yeah,
lifestyle or passion or whatever and it makes them happier, they're probably going to be a better bodybuilder as long as they're
Yeah.
within your framework.
I'll also refuse to steal the love of bodybuilding out of somebody because
Yeah.
I think my way is more optimal.
Oh,
Listen,
100%.
if you want, like, if you don't enjoy the bit in the gym, what the fuck are we doing
yeah.
here?
Something's
I
wrong.
said this in the previous video. I said in the previous video I was doing, if you said to me lifting like the opposite of how I lift, like let's say I do high volume, a little bit sloppy, whatever, and you want me to do low volume, perfect form, slow, like,
You just fell asleep describing that.
yeah, I'm not, I'm done. I'm out. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't want to be like, I've trained with Ben. The way we train, that's how I want to train. If you can tell me
yeah,
something else and it's going to help me gain 2 more pounds of muscle, I'm probably not going to do it.
yeah, right.
Right. But you're not going to get into doing it the way that makes sense in here. I argue you're going to make more
You
progress
make more muscle.
across 10 years,
Yes.
12 years,
Yes.
13 years. You're not going to get injured as much.
Yeah.
You're going to keep your fire. You're going to keep the passion. You got to keep that fire burning. That's where that's when then the monotony is easy.
Lane Norton said that to me. And I think that's where a lot of coaches are starting to learn. Like I asked Lane Norton about diet, and Lane basically said, look, the fucking diet you're going to stick to, that's the diet. Whether it's carb cycling, whether it's fucking intermittent fasting, whatever the fuck you're doing, it's the one that you like. And same thing, You know, I asked John Jewett once about what's the best body fat level to be at, right? Because if you ask like Greg Doucette, it's like, well, a low body fat is better to stay at all year round. And if you ask me, I'm like, well, let's bulk to 15%, right? John Jewett was like, where your performance is best is where your
It's
body fat
Yeah,
should be.
yeah,
the
If
athlete's
you
body will
perform
tell you.
if you perform best at 8%, and
Yeah,
that's where you're strongest, and that's where
yeah.
you're then fucking stay percent. If you perform best with like a heavier body fat level, and
yeah.
that's where you're like, you're
I'm
eating.
all on that board.
Yeah.
I'm all on
And I
board with
thought,
that.
and I thought
Yeah,
that was out of all I've done fucking 1,000 podcasts almost. Out of all the podcasts I've done, that was the most reasonable answer I'd ever gotten for
Mhm.
where should you be in the off season.
It's the same with training though. It's the same rules apply, right?
Yeah.
The
Well, he was
same
saying that
mentality.
in training and everything.
Oh,
He was
okay. Yeah,
applying it to,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I do strongly agree with that. Like, I want to know the feedback. I want to know. Like, I made a joke with one of my athletes the other day. I said, I don't know what you want me to do with this check-in.
Why?
Because he's like, everything's really good. I feel great. This, that, whatever. Digestion's perfect. Sleep is good. I'm like, what the fuck do you want me to do
All right.
here?
All right.
Carry on.
See you
Like,
next
this is,
week.
yeah. I was like, oh, I could probably eat more food. I'm like, no, no.
You
You
know what?
just told me everything is moving in the right direction. Don't change your thing.
You know, I was a bad coach because I always felt like I felt like this anxiety, like I had to change something for them.
I've
But
been through that at the start. I went through that, and then obviously
yeah,
working more closely with Ben over the last few years, you learn that hey,
it
okay,
just hard. It just felt like I
yeah,
was,
yeah,
like somebody pays you, right? So somebody gives you like,
yeah,
I used to charge like $300 a month.
yeah.
So somebody pays you, and then they're with you. That's $300 is for 4 weeks or whatever. In that 4 weeks, if it's in the off season and everything's going well, I'm might not change anything. So then I feel like I took your $300 for nothing, but I didn't. Like I'm still monitoring.
It's
So
working.
like you feel
Yeah,
guilty, but at the same
yeah.
time, if it's all perfect, then
So this is why you retired from coaching. You can get back
that's
into the
why
game. Okay,
I retired.
But that's something for you are right because I dealt with that when like a few years ago when I started to get into coaching more and more. You felt like you needed to change something,
Yes.
but I started to say to guys and girls like, "Hey, the real good thing is not changing anything.
Yes.
If it's moving, it's
If it's
moving.
moving in the right direction. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah."
Yeah.
So I couldn't agree. I can totally agree with that feeling.
I want to,
I keep having to tell. Oh, I lost you. Are you there?
I'm here. I can hear you.
What happened there?
Did
Fucking.
I get lost or did Ben get
No,
lost?
my screen just went off, like
Oh,
wiped on me.
okay.
Um, I keep having to tell people, or my favorite saying at the minute is, "Don't let's not get greedy."
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that to
Right?
me.
Because you go, oh, I feel
I
really
want to get
good.
lean.
Like I'm a little bit hungry. I could probably handle more food. And I'm like, but if everything else is doing this,
Right.
why are we trying to fuck it up? And I did this, I'll speak on experience, and I told you this. I did that prep, right? Because I got back into bodybuilding like January, February, March, April, and I felt phenomenal. And I had my life balanced, right?
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
work, my relationship with my family, everything was golden, perfect. I was like, I could
We're
probably
getting into the,
push. I could
What can I do
probably
to fuck this
diet.
up?
Yeah. And then I got greedy. I should have just stayed in that fucking sweet spot and
yeah. Yeah.
ridden off into the sunset, you know? You get
All right.
greedy.
Let's, I want to
You
ask
know,
you,
just sorry, I'll go
go
on
ahead,
for that.
Carl.
Sorry.
No, 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 go ahead. One more.
I was just going to say something else. So Ben actually said because the reason I need Ben is because I'm the guy that will go too far. I'll
Oh, that's
do
why we
two
all
hours of
do.
cardio.
That's why we all do.
And something he said to me recently in prep, which I've adopted and actually said to my own guys and other people, is sometimes in bodybuilding, you have to do what you got to do, not what you want to do.
Yeah. Makes
So,
sense.
and this makes total sense, right? Yeah.
I
I
want to
read
make,
it in a fortune cookie one time.
That's enough. What a surprise.
Most
What
of
a
my
surprise is a
replies,
fortune cookie.
yeah, most of my replies are like from my mum and dad's
yeah.
shop.
Um, Frog Blast says, I'm from Meadows' hometown in Ohio. He went to high school with my dad. He's got so many wild stories of young John. He gave my dad his first adult magazine and pouch of chewing tobacco at 13. Oh,
The same John Meadows we're talking about.
yes. Fuck, what the fuck? I want to share this with you guys. Actually, let's talk about this other thing first. I heard, well, I didn't hear, it's actually like for sure news now that Carlos Thomas retired.
You saw that this morning.
What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Wow, could you hear that?
We're for sure gonna lose our connection
Yeah, fuck.
Why? What's going on?
because
Big
there's a
storm.
thunderstorm and I've got Starlink.
It's okay. Listen, I
Starlink.
only thought we were gonna do an hour today anyway. So whatever, we'll just go until we can't go.
No, guys, the show's all about me. Come on, let's keep it going.
I got to travel to Pittsburgh today. We're hitting up our manufacturer, so
Oh, nice.
Today? When you
I'm-
leaving?
Hey,
I'm
the
leaving today.
glycerol,
I'm leaving today in
so
like 2
good,
hours. The glycerol's good, eh?
so good, and
Yeah.
El Carnity, I'm enjoying that big time.
Listen,
Yeah,
2020. Obviously I was in the hospital for 2 fucking months. I almost died.
yeah,
But now that I'm back and I'm healthy, well, healthier, 2026 is gonna be fucking awesome. We
yeah.
got
I'm excited.
just a real quick housekeeping for people watching. We got flavor of the month protein every single fucking month. Next month, we're gonna have a new flavor or 2 new flavors each month. And we're doing some prize packs with that. So people who buy it will be entered into a draw to like possibly train with Samson or do something crazy. We're gonna have some kind of prize tied to flavor of the month if you collect all 12 months or whatever. And then we have a new flavor of foundation every other month. New flavor,
Nice.
new flavor of silo EAAs every other month. So by the end of the year, we should have 10 flavors of silo, 10 flavors of foundation.
Are you gonna hold that as
They'll,
foundation?
they'll
Are they gonna be on the website or they're
probably stay
limited
on, yeah.
edition? Wow,
Well,
okay.
they might be limited at first, and then the people that love the most, the ones that they love the
Right.
most, will come
That's a
back.
cool idea.
Nice.
Yeah,
And then we're starting our hydration flavor. Even though silo is a hydration EAA, we're doing a solo.
oh, that's
See,
cool.
that's useful. I don't actually like using EAs first thing in the morning, but I do want a hydration pack.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So we're doing
yeah.
hydration stick packs that are going to be like not bullshit like prime hydration. It's going to be real hydration with like 1,000 milligrams of sodium. Then we're also starting the health line.
Hey,
We're probably going to start with single ingredient SKUs like citrus bergamot, like NAC, stuff like that. We'll probably start with that first. And then we'll get into different formulas. And then this is the tricky one, Ben. Our hostility used to have teacrine in it. For people who've used pre-workouts that have teacrine, they know the taste isn't great.
Fuck
But
that, the matter.
that was my favorite fucking formula.
I'll show you in a minute. I'm gonna send a pic. I'm gonna post it. I've got 2 tubs that had Nick send
old
me
one.
of
Yeah.
the old one. I'm with saving those fucking
oh, let me use
things.
that today.
Oh,
So
we'll see.
I want to go back. I think I want to
Can,
go back to like that using the
I,
teacrine if I can
I
figure out the
was
flavor.
I was just going to say, what was the reason that you took that out? Is it the just purely
Teacrine,
flavoring?
listen,
Yeah,
teacrine is an amazing ingredient because it
yeah,
extends. First of all, it extends the caffeine, but it
yeah,
also extends your endurance. So you
yeah,
like
yeah.
you get
Just
this
go.
really like long, clean energy feeling when teacrine's added to the proper formula, which it was. The problem is it tastes like fucking ass. Like it's the hardest out of all the fucking ingredients we've used over the course of 5 years. It is the hardest ingredient to fucking flavor.
I
Just
bought those
drink it, man.
capsules when we stopped doing the original hostility and took it out. I bought capsules of teacrine. So
And
I would just drink.
added it
I
in.
would just
Yeah.
drink and then I'd just drink the capsule with the pre-workout
We,
because that teacrine's.
yeah. We thought about doing that. We actually thought about kind of selling them together,
Mm.
making a formula and then adding a bottle to sell with it. But we have a new manufacturer that's really good at flavoring. So I might try and do the teacrine formula again with them
Okay,
instead.
like a heavy citrus.
Yeah, it'll have to be like sour gummy flavors and stuff like that to kind of mask the
Yeah.
teacrine, but it'll be
It's,
fucking worth it because that
That's
it's
what
just
people don't realize.
exciting.
There a lot of them are using those like sour gummy flavors because they
yeah,
hide a lot of sin in
Yeah.
flavor.
yeah. So 2026 is gonna be fucking awesome. I can't wait. Anyway, housekeeping aside,
Make sure you extend my contract. Thank you.
100%. I can't. You're gonna be on stage with top 10 guys soon.
Yes.
Um, what do you guys think about Carlos retiring?
I mean,
Any thoughts?
I'm sure he has his reasons, but that's someone that could have been, you know, serious athlete.
Let's listen to this real quick. Where's the sound
I
button?
haven't seen this at all.
Bodybuilding. My work fund my life. And that was a good dynamic that I had there.
Let me start it over. I missed the first part of that.
Like, okay, sponsorships, fund my bodybuilding. My work, fund my life. And that was a good dynamic that I had there until I was like, oh man, like I stopped growing where I should have been in my career, you know, like I'm not saying I didn't grow, but I could have pushed even harder, man. I was like, I could have dug a little bit deeper. I could have done a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I could have pursued my doctorate like I did my master's in bodybuilding, but I was like, you know what? I don't want the stress. I'd rather just keep my position where it is and my bodybuilding where it is. And then it's good. It's all good. But I got, don't get too comfortable, man. Like, don't get too comfortable. Keep going. Keep striving. And that's why this year it snapped me back. It boom, it's a splash of water in my face. I was like, oh no, like I got more left in the tank. Oh shit, fuck this. I'm like, let me go. Let me start studying for my doctorate again. Like, let me go and do that. Let me take that.
So to me, it sounds like chasing two rabbits and losing both.
That's what I was about to say.
Right. So I think he's decided I want to make some progress somewhere, and I guess he chose that route instead
one
of
egg, one basket, right?
Yeah. You know, I think for some people in life, bodybuilding's their way out. Bodybuilding's the chosen path that they're using. I can only speak for myself here, actually, that I've chosen that I want to be successful in this. I want to see how far I can take it. I want to see if I can do it. And I think obviously Carlos has found love through learning other areas and working, and maybe that gives him more love than what bodybuilding does. And he earns well doing that. So maybe he's just made the call.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Ben. Your thoughts on it?
Yeah, like it's easy to judge, right? But you shouldn't judge. You never step foot in that man's shoes, right? So you don't know where his head's at, what he's gone through, what his priorities are. What I can say is, it sounds like a really hard fucking decision. If it was me and I was that good at something over here, especially as a bodybuilding fan and the personality I have, I'd find that really fucking hard to walk away from that, even if I'd caught a bunch of shit about, you know, whatever. I'd find it incredibly hard to walk away from that potential. So that's not a easy.
Find it hard to walk away from his bodybuilding potential.
Yeah. Because, but again, that's because that's how my brain aligns and what I deem as a priority. And I'm like, wow, if I had that potential genetically, could I walk away before I hit my peak? Oh, that would chew me up.
Go ahead, Carl.
So I was just going to say, this is not towards Carlos, but there's someone that has that kind of genetic elite that can put on muscle, because it's easier as per se. Is it easier to walk away from because it can't? You got it easier.
No, because the hard part he had of getting in shape equals that out.
Right? Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah.
I look at it from this perspective. Carlos is like, first of all, he's got this thing over here that he can probably get for sure. Like he can probably get his doctorate and all that and do it, and it's going to be hard, but it's something he can get. It's like within his grasp, right? He's got this other thing over here where he's good, but he's probably like outside the top 20 in the world, but he could easily be in the top 10 in the world with the right mix. The problem is for Carlos to find that mix could take 5 years. Like he's got to develop a back. He's got to learn to get in shape. Like it's not something, the thing that happens to bodybuilders is when there's a carrot dangling fucking right in front of your face, you have trouble not chasing it. And I think that's where Carlos is at. That carrot is right there. Like for him to be in the top 10 at the Olympia is a couple tweaks away, but those tweaks could be fucking, he might never reach them. That's the problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if he did reach them, there's still no guarantee that translates to life-changing situation.
Like it's easy for us to sit around and go, well, man, if he just developed his back a little bit, he could be like top 5 if he could just get in shape. But then you're like, if
I could fly, I'd go to the moon. Like fuck off.
How long does it take to develop those ifs, and can he do them? Whereas when you look at the other side, there's a very clear path to him developing a doctorate, getting a doctorate, and being like this, right? So it's like, I think,
and the longevity on that is like, well, that's he can do that till he's fucking 70, as long as he fucking wants.
See, like this guy said the perfect thing, right? That 1035 in the chat says, with a fully developed back and condition, Carlos would be right there with the top 5, maybe top 3. First of all, I think that's really high to put him like just with condition and a back, but he's saying exactly what we're saying. If a back, if condition, if, and then it's like a guy can go his whole career chasing those ifs and not get them.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like I've seen it.
Yeah.
Like look, I don't want to name any names.
No, I called him out. Come on, yeah, I want to name names.
I
Sometimes you got to do what you don't want to do, man. Like,
don't want to. I don't want to name any names, but I will say this: if a guy did such and such, like I've seen guys go their whole career. Okay, I'll give you an example. Fine. Take Regan. People have been saying for 5 years, if Regan could make the front match the back, Regan could be top 5 at the Olympia. That's such a big if.
Mm.
Think about it.
Mm.
You're saying this guy's entire front half of his body has to come up to match the back.
someone should tell him.
Yeah, someone should tell him, right? So it's like, so all I'm saying is like those ifs can fucking take a long time. They're not, you know. So I think
Yeah, you're right. It's like, how much are you willing to do that for? Right. Yeah.
So that's
Totally.
what I'm saying. So Carlos, I
Yeah.
think, is making an educated decision.
Yeah.
And saying, yeah, I could be top 5 at the Olympia, but it might take me 5 years.
Yeah.
Listen,
And
I've known him and his dad for a while, and they're not stupid, and they know what the cost is as well.
Right. It does comes with a price. It's not.
And I know, like, yeah, he didn't do New York Pro because of some health gut issues, right? So it's not like he's getting through this unscathed. I'm not saying he has lifelong issues, but bodybuilding is certainly more stressful
how
in
old
your
is he?
physique than getting your doctorate, right? So
I don't know how.
uh, he's like late 20s, I would say.
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah. He's not
Wow.
30 yet. I don't think he's 30.
Oh, wow. I thought, for some reason, I thought it was the early 30s.
See, this guy Weed Seeds 5211 says some never fix a weak point. That's true. Like I'll give you an example. If you look at Johnny Jackson. Johnny Jackson could squat 800 fucking pounds, but couldn't balance the upper and lower bodies.
Mm.
His lower body was always a little bit behind the upper body, and everybody always said, if Johnny could develop his legs, he would be X, Y, Z. His whole career went by, and the upper body always was bigger than the lower body.
But is that not like every single physique ever?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is those ifs, like people say
Like,
ifs, like
yeah.
they're easy to fix.
Yeah.
Sometimes they never get fixed.
Yeah. But you have champions that still have if he brings that up, then he'd be a 3, 4 time, 5 time champion.
Yeah.
Like Olympic, it's like
yeah, that conversation applies to like everybody.
And that's also one of the curses of bodybuilding. Because you can be Ronnie Coleman, win your 8th one, and be like, that wasn't good enough. I need to be bigger here. I need to get this bigger. And
this guy says, isn't this pessimistic thinking though? Don't you have to be an optimist to succeed in bodybuilding or anything? I would agree, but what I think what we're saying is Carlos is making a decision between 2 things. So it's not like Carlos Thomas.
Yeah,
Carlos Thomas is making an educated decision between 2 career choices.
He's being optimistic about his PhD.
Yeah, he's being optimistic about the other career path.
It's just not what we deem as what we would choose necessarily as meatheads, right? And that's why we're having this like dispute of like.
I think when a bodybuilder chooses to take the bodybuilding path, yes, they have to be optimistic. Yes, I can build my back. Yes, I can build my legs. Like you have to have that belief in yourself, or it's hard to get there. But what we're saying is Carlos is making a decision between 2 career paths, and he's saying this is probably a better career choice for me.
And let's not be like, I don't know what the word is, but let's not pretend like getting a doctorate's the easier choice here.
I was just thinking that.
Like, he's not gone to stack shelves because he can't be bothered anymore.
That's still a good 5 years of his life.
He's
7 years of his
doing
life.
something that's pretty fucking difficult. That is that requires discipline, requires his focus. Like that's.
Do you know what I think as well? Oh,
sorry, Carlos. 1 second. I just want to touch on Ben's point. This person also says Carlos also has ulcerative colitis.
That's right.
Absolutely relentless disease, so it must play a role in his decision. And that's kind of what Ben was saying, which I agree with as well. Sorry, go ahead, Carlos.
No, I was just saying it's a bit like what Ben was saying earlier. He's he can do this till he's 70. they're setting him up for. We all kind of look for life after bodybuilding. What am I going to do after bodybuilding? And he's already setting himself up for his future, so
Yeah.
makes sense. So, like you say, it's an educated decision.
Yeah.
Okay, with those genetics, he could take 5 years off and probably
Yeah, I
come back.
know.
And
Definitely.
Moving on to Japan. I want to get your guys' thoughts on where did he go? Sean Clarita posted this. And this says, I believe it was 8 days out. This was 8 days out of Japan.
jeez,
So round.
I think I have to change my picks on my.
his physique has improved. Like,
You know?
it's
Looks
staggering
fresh.
how much improvement he's made.
Yeah.
Like I fully wrote Sean off. Fully, like,
Right.
done, dusted. He should, he's never gonna touch his best ever again. I still regard him as a good bodybuilder, but I didn't think we were gonna see the
This.
best Sean ever again. And this is
Look at that leg.
nuts.
Look at his leg.
Fucking
This
leg,
is,
dude.
this is the best I've ever seen him.
Working with John has made a big change.
But again, I bet you what he finds, and knowing how John works, it's nothing else other than just keeping it simple.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at this fucking condition.
Look at it.
There's no magic here, I promise you. I bet it's just been simplified.
Yeah.
God. It is
Wish there was
great.
a better camera angle.
Yeah.
Look at the fucking
Look at
feathering.
that quad. Yeah, I was just.
But his legs look so much bigger. Remember
I was
the
just-
Arnold? In the
yeah.
Arnold, his legs were gone.
Yeah.
I was just about to say they look rounder and fuller, and just he's improved them or brought them back either.
And
Gotta-
it's not like
gotta get John on the podcast.
it's not like he's taken a long time off. He's been competing a fuck ton and he's getting better.
Sean's in his 40s as well, right?
Yeah.
Somebody messaged John, tell him I want to talk to him on the podcast. Yeah, this is crazy, man. This is him at the Olympia, I believe.
That was good. That's a good look.
Okay.
Hard.
This Japan looks like it's gonna smoke this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Can this beat James,
Don't do
John,
this.
Mark Hector,
Don't
Stu
do
Sutherland?
this. Don't know.
Huh?
He can win shots.
Do it for the short guys. Do it for the short guys.
I think.
I think I'm going to say this. I think if James is not, in my opinion, James's best is when he worked with Patrick Tour.
Mm.
And that's because he peaked, like Patrick peaked him almost like as perfect as James could be peaked. If James can repeat something similar to that, he's hard to beat. If he can't, I think Sean can beat him.
Yeah, I will say, I'm looking at his updates. His body looks very fresh.
Yes.
I don't know if that's. It just looks very fresh,
James, right?
very round. Yeah, James. Yeah,
I saw
looks
that.
very fresh. He's getting that roundness back. Even his legs look a bit like, sort of they're popping more and more.
I agree.
He put up a back photo the other day, and I was like, this is like close to the old James.
He did a back double, I think, in Japan recently, right? Today.
It might be that one. It might have been that one.
It was this
It might have been when he was in Norway.
The one he put one up to. There's one up. The one up today for sure.
But yeah, I was like, man, his skin and everything, it just looks fresher.
This is off season, sorry.
That's off season, yeah.
Yeah. That like this roundness.
Yeah, it's roundness. Yeah.
You know, the leg looks good. It's all
Yeah.
grain. Like this looks like a walk-on condition. Like he's not doesn't have to do anything. The triceps are bubbling out. Like
his proportions make so much more sense when he's this full and round, because otherwise his midsection just gets all dominant on him.
And he's got narrow clavicles, so if he's not bubbly and round, he just looks kind of smaller.
His triceps hanging down that back double.
I know, dude. This is fucking retarded. This right here.
Yeah. Look,
yeah. Like look at the left one, like because again that white wall, like his lat where it hooks up into that crevice, and then his tricep hooks down. It's fucking mad.
It's fucking fake. But I saw this roundness. This showed me.
That's what I saw. Yeah.
The skin texture when he's posing here, you're like, okay, that's fucking. This is like walk-on condition.
See, I think he's flatter there than he is in the one that we just saw.
Yeah.
I think that's because this is right before he traveled, so they probably started putting food in now, so it makes sense.
Still, like, look how round he is, even though he's not full.
Yeah. I'm good for it. Good.
Because his chest normally just completely flattens out on him, and then it's like hard for his physique to make any sense.
So I guess the question is, can a peaked James beat Sean and Mark and Joanne? Joanne already beat him at the British.
Mark looks fucking handy though too, and Mark's working with Patrick, so I expect them to
But
be
that wasn't
pretty.
Mark's working.
James at the British wasn't
No. Wasn't the
so
good. Yeah.
no.
You can't judge that. James is a different, and like
Yeah.
I think we're gonna see a close to a former James. I hope so. I very much hope so. If it's that, I think Sean's gonna have a tough time. But I think Mark's gonna have a hard time beating Sean.
I think Mark looks really good though.
He
Like this,
does, but I don't think he's got the density. Look at his the chest and the arms.
Yeah,
It just doesn't
yeah.
have that density to them.
there's still some gaps. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see Sean
You,
beating all of them, to be honest with you. Like it's really hard to
yeah,
judge.
but I think what you're saying is that looks nuts. Like the texture of
that's
his
nuts.
glutes hamstrings, I've never seen that on Mark.
In,
But the
in,
thing with I think you're right about is it's like almost James has to leave the door open.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then there's,
Sean's the one that's that right now. I'd say obviously top to bottom is the most. If he brings that, well, she will that fullness and roundness.
they're talking about a former Mr. Olympia, even if it's
Yeah,
the even if it's
Not the real
212,
one.
it's still a fucking
yeah,
still Mr.
absolutely.
Olympia.
And he's won open shows, like not looking like this.
Yeah, he's beaten Regan before, he's beaten Sergio before. Like he's
Which
if you're not ready, he'll beat you.
yeah, which if you're gonna like do bodybuilding math, Regan and James
Look at that lats.
oh yeah, that's crazy.
So this is fucking nuts. The back doesn't match the front, but I think, like I said, man, if they slip at all, Sean could beat all three of these guys.
You think this guy could win?
I think Joanne can win. I do. I think I'm very, very impressed by Joanne. I think I always have been.
He's improved from show to show, and they're like a week apart, 2 weeks apart, a week apart, and he just keeps getting better and better.
In my opinion, this kid's Mr. Olympia structure. He just has to fill it out.
Yeah.
Which is a big ask, right? But he's almost there. It's like he needs more hamstrings.
He just needs to get to 300 pounds, and then it'll be all these problems will be solved.
Joanne, if you can get to 300 pounds, you'll be there. That's all it takes.
It's a game over. 302, and then he's unstoppable. It's like
no, but like seriously, like look at that structure, man, from the front.
It's crazy. I love his physique.
If he can build the hamstrings to match the quads, fuck, man, he's there.
If, right?
Oh, there's only one if. There's only one if. I'm serious. If he can build the hamstring, which is a big ask.
The condition from the back, I think, could be improved.
Yeah, I think he can get the condition. He doesn't look like somebody who can't, like with the right.
No, I think they're trying to balance. I think they can get more condition, but they're going to lose some body parts, right?
But like when you look at his physique, Ben, other than like the hamstring, like because you see this side of the leg right here.
Look at the delt. Look at the delt.
Yeah, exactly. I want to see this down here.
Yeah.
And then you have the physique, right?
I mean, man, he's only like 26 as well, 25.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like this is what we're gonna see. This was his last showing in Romania, so he's getting better with each show.
Whoop.
In my opinion, this is his show to lose.
Yeah. Oh, you're that high on him. Okay.
Yeah.
I just think, like I said, okay, it's really fucked up the way we're talking about everything because it's like so contradictory sometimes. But this is what I'll say ultimately: if everybody is in shape, I think it's Joanne's show to lose. If any of them slip, I think Sean will beat everybody. Like whoever slips, Sean will get ahead of them. That's all.
I can get on board with that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Mark is in that top 3.
Yeah.
And I like there's just too gappy compared to certainly Sean. Sean is like packed head to toe.
Yeah.
Like,
isn't there some sorry, Ben. Sorry.
Go ahead, Carlos.
I was going to say, isn't there some freaky Chinese guy that I saw was I don't know his name.
Helsik.
Freak.
Helsik. Let me bring him up.
Is this a guy I sent you a while back? He just turned pro, like recently.
I'm not sure. Let's see if I can find Helsik. There's another guy named One Sick Wang. I love that guy's name. He's got a great
what name?
So this is the guy who went from men's physique to open. He looks to me like, obviously freaky photos like this, you're like, oh, he's going to win the show.
That's what I saw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but when you look at like, and obviously this too, it's obviously edited. He looks freaky.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you see actual posing videos like this,
Oh, okay.
That's not as impressive.
Yeah.
Sure.
he's got such wide shoulders that you need more leg.
A lot
Yeah.
more width than that lower body, yeah.
Yeah, but he's good. He's got a great structure, but it takes a time to fill that kind of structure out. I don't think to me, he's not in
Pretty.
that top
He's
four.
yeah, but like you said, structurally that's pretty, and that'd be
Mm.
interesting to watch that.
There's a kind of
That front lat spread is
this is the problem. Like you just need a little bit more to match that width.
Mm.
It's even the front double, right? You see it's so big up here, and then
Yeah.
it's more density down here.
Yeah, his clavicular width is crazy. Like
Yeah,
his head looks so small on his body.
Yeah, he's so wide, dude. And then the other thing is you don't see any back shots here, and I think that's for a reason.
No, there you go.
Here's some from the back. There's
Oh,
some.
some-
The next page, he had a red hat on or a bandana. He had a back shot in there.
Yeah,
Oh,
same.
red trunks.
Yeah,
There you
Yeah.
go.
the lats here are kind of empty.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's part of the problem. But yeah, he's just got massive fucking structure. Like
How
when you
tall is he?
when you look at this fucking photo, like look how wide his fucking shoulders are. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know how tall he is. Same with this picture. Like, look at that. Like that's why he was so good in men's physique. Like this.
Mm.
Yeah. Taper.
Dude, I'm saying some of those men's physique guys have clavicles that just keep going.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I don't know if this guy can break that top four. I personally don't think so. In the edited photos, I think so. But when you see the real,
I was going to make that comment, but I didn't want to.
oh, I mean, everybody looks good in edited
Yeah.
photos, right?
I mean, his legs there look crazy.
Like edited photos with perfect lighting, everybody looks fucking phenomenal, right? Like this photo, he looks like Mr. Olympia, but that's not real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
If
this,
he can look like that on stage, everyone's fucked.
Yeah.
but you know, it's just things. You know, you see little things that need work. But he's good. I wonder if I can.
Whoa. I'm skipping over this fucking unicorn. This guy's from South Korea and has shitty legs.
What do you mean?
Every Asian has great legs.
I was just about to say that.
Well,
I'm just going to go for
they're not
gripping.
shitty, but they're normally like freakazoids in the wheels. And
the one thing me and Paul have noticed is every Asian guy has no back.
right, but this guy's no back or legs. Normally they have the legs to save them, you know.
Man, you're so fucked up, dude.
I can say it, man. I got no back either, and I got legs.
You're Asian. You can say
Yeah.
it. I wonder
Free
if
pass.
I will find one sick wang.
Let's see. I think like the Kim, the South Korean guy I coach, his legs are fucking. I'm like, can we just train your legs like once a month? He's like, sure, and his legs just keep getting fucking bigger.
I remember you were telling me that. Let's go to. I'm sure I can find that guy here. Let's take a look at this.
Or the one.
I just want to show you. I thought he was good. Predictions. Upcoming shows, Japan.
Oh, Florian's in it.
Oh, I forgot Florian was in it. So, where is he?
One Sik Hwan. Or Sumin Kim.
Such a good
There he
name.
is. One sec, Wang.
Taken King.
Oh, that's how the fuck did this come up for? Is that his real name?
Oh,
Helsik.
No,
Helsinki.
is that his One Sick Wang? Is that his real name?
No, this is what your developer put in as his name.
But these are the actual names.
Oh, well, then that's his name.
Helsick, One Sick Wang. Yeah, makes sense.
What do you mean makes sense?
Well, Helsick. His
One
name
sick.
His name is One
Oh.
Sick Wang. So I'm like, it kind of makes sense.
Okay, that's sick. Okay, I'll get you.
Just trying to make the connection. You guys
They're
want
all called Kim. They're all called Kim, huh?
Yeah,
Like the guy I coach is called Kim, and I was like, it's definitely not his name.
Do you guys want to do predictions or no?
Yeah, but let's not do the. I don't
Don't do
know.
this to me. My first time on the podcast, I'm going to get absolutely killed by all the other bodybuilders.
Ben, add player. 1 sec. I gotta add Carlos too.
Add the brutal Brit.
Where is he? Oh, there he is. Okay, there's Ben. And add player, create new player. Carlos. Brick.
Carlos Brick.
What
Neither of those are his names.
Yeah.
do you mean? I thought his name was Carlos.
No, it's Carl.
No, no, that's my real name's Carl, but my parents, like my mum and that, and my brother used to call me Little Carlos.
Oh,
So and then when I made Instagram, however many years ago, I just put Carlos Philbrick,
so
and it
you're,
kind of just left it at that.
so
Yeah,
Also, Americans can't say Carl at all.
yeah, I found that as well.
They're like, what? What? What
Yeah,
do you mean Carl?
for some reason, when I introduce myself as
Americans can
Carlos,
say
it's
Carl. I can
easier,
say Carl.
but
You're not
but
American,
not.
you're Canadian.
But across the borders in general, when I meet people, it seems to be just easier when I say Carlos. People are like, oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Crazy.
But yeah, it's funny because I always say like, if someone calls me Carl, I know they've known me for a long time.
Right.
But if they introduce me to Carlos, I'm like, oh, you're relatively
You're new.
new.
You're a newbie.
Yeah.
You're new around here.
But it's more like a nickname that kind of just continued.
All right. Well, let's see how many Asians you know.
I'm Ben.
Yeah, me. That's it. Me and my son.
Okay. Who are you guys picking?
I'm gonna go James,
I'm gonna go James.
James. Okay.
Juan.
James.
Juan? Is it Juan? No, Johan.
John. Oh, no. Joan.
Juan.
Joan is, I guess, how you pronounce it. Okay.
I'm gonna mix it up and put Sean.
Sean. Okay.
Sean.
Sean.
And then I'll go Jean.
Joan.
I
Okay.
also think Sean's gonna win, so I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mark fourth.
Mark Hector.
I'll go Mark as well.
Okay.
Who else we got?
And you
Stu.
still got Florian. You got Tabani. This is
There's Stu Sutherland in there too.
this is Baruz's
I
cousin.
think Stu for me is going to be in that top. I'd like to see Stu in that.
This guy was in Romania. This is Tabani's. It's Baruz's cousin. He's pretty good. Okay. What do you got? Who's fifth?
Jan Turek.
Jan Turek ahead of Stu, eh?
I
Yeah,
think
I'm going to go.
if it's
I'm
that,
going to go
wait.
Stu.
Click on Jan Turek. If it's, I
Jan
might
was
be getting
like-
him confused between him and the guy that got
Jan was fourth, I think. In
Prague, right?
No.
no, I think he was.
I'm thinking of that guy, right? The guy that came out of nowhere.
You're thinking
That's
of
not-
Damien Cuffle.
That's Cuffle, sorry. All right, ignore me.
Yeah, you're thinking of Damien Cuffle.
Okay, well, Damien Cuffle, if he was there, would be in fifth.
He's not there.
Stu for me in fifth.
Stu.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'd go Stu and then probably Florian. Now I'm just saying names that I'd recognize
I know.
up to this point because now it's just Kang Min.
Where do you put the Hellsick guy?
I don't.
Oh wow, the list is still got. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, the list is all the way down here. All these guys.
Ben, you got to
Matt.
throw in a brother. Come on, mate.
I don't know any of them.
You got to throw in a extended cousin.
I have
Okay.
zero idea.
What are you doing here, Carlos, for sixth?
I'm going to throw in that. Is it the Jan Turek? Is it Turek?
Turek. Okay.
Jan Turek.
Here, I'll help you out. I'm going to put Tabani here. I'm going to put Florian.
Yeah, thank you. That's Fouad, you read my mind. Wow.
I'm going to put where the fuck did he go? One Sick Wang. And then I'm going to put Matt O'Reilly. Okay, there you go. There's your top
Do
10.
1 6 or 7 for me then, since you.
One Sick Wang,
Then Tabani, then Jan Turek.
Tabani, Turek,
Is this the last one of the year? It is, right?
Matt O'Reilly. Okay. No, there's a Big Man Weekend.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, there's Big Man Weekend. I think what's the date on that? November 30th, the week
Oh,
after.
November. Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, it's the week after. Okay, let's take a look at the chat, see if there's any questions. We'll probably go. I got to drive to Pittsburgh today.
What's that, 4 or 5 hours?
Yeah, somewhere in there, 4.5.
Are you driving now yourself?
Am I driving myself?
Yeah. Are you driving around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you got one of those?
No, I
saw
don't
that.
have a
They're great. Those
I thought you
balls
got
are.
one. I thought you got one.
I looked into it. I didn't.
Oh,
Why? That was such a good
why?
idea.
No,
So good.
I don't want to feel more handicapped than I already am.
Listen, it
Screw
will
it. Who gives a
save.
fuck? If it
I
helps you,
promise
it helps you.
it will save your good arm.
Why?
Because you're not going to get this like weird thing where you keep cranking over to just. I'm telling you.
I do the wash.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so much easier if you've got the little ball you can tickle.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I should get one. I should get one. No, but
Should.
I'm driving.
How?
I'm trying to do everything the same as I did before, and I'm doing most of it. It just everything takes longer.
Mm.
Like, you put on your socks with two hands. It's like put on your sock. Try putting your socks on with one hand. You can still do it. It just takes an
So
addition.
I had this wrist cast and it's close to nowhere near as extreme, but that limitation. I'm like, fucking.
Yeah, you've had it before.
Hey, Phil, that must come with quite a bit of frustration at times, right? I can imagine. Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
I think, not to sound like a fag, but since it is mental health month
Yeah.
for men, I don't think this is going to sound really fucked. I don't even want to admit it. There probably hasn't been a day since my last surgery that I haven't cried.
Yeah.
At some point in the day, either in the morning or at night, or like,
Yeah.
you look down at your arm and it's like 10 inches when it used to be 24, and you're like, what the fuck? So yeah, it's fucking hard, man. But you know what?
It was never 24. It was never 24.
Okay, it was never 24. It was 22 and a half. It was 22.
That was pumped as well. That was pumped.
It was pumped. It was pumped. No, pumped was 23. I swear to God, my left arm pumped. I got to measure 23. Right was 22 and a half.
Just to jump on the back of the men's mental health, something this week happened. I'm not going to go into it. It's from someone else's things, but don't be afraid to reach out to your friend, to a coach. There is always someone there that will listen. I promise you.
This crazy motherfucker told me a story last night at the dinner table about how he literally saw a girl about to jump off a bridge, so pulled over, jumped out, grabbed hold of her as she was trying to jump, held on to her until the police came. Then they tried to give him an award and he refused to go because he didn't want it to be about him.
What? This actually happened to you?
Yeah.
I don't. Please tell the story. I told you I was
you
gonna
threw
out
me
you.
under. I don't like because I don't.
Bro, that actually fucking happened?
Yeah, it happened. Yeah.
Sounds like you made it up. It for real fucking happened.
Tell the whole story, man. Like,
okay,
it's mad.
Back in, I think it was 21, maybe 22. So obviously, as many people know, I was a telecoms engineer before doing this. And I was on the way back on the motorway from work to heading home. And I was driving down the motorway and I look up and there's this lady or female getting on the other side of a walking bridge. And I'm like, I'm not letting this happen. There is no way I'm letting this happen. So I'm driving.
How did you know she was going to jump? Like, was she standing?
Well, she's getting on the other side of
where she was on the other side of the fucking railing.
She got off where you walk and she was on the other side of the railing to drop back into the motorway.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm not letting this happen. There's no way. So I'm driving. I'm calling the police. I've told them the location, where it is. I said, I'm going to the bottom of the bridge. So I know the area. I know how to get up there.
Yeah.
So I got off the motorway. I drove round to the bottom of the bridge. I don't know what I done with the van. I just dumped it. Phone was in it, everything, money, the lot. Yeah. Ran out of the van. I run up to her, and it was one of those railings where there's gaps.
Yeah.
So I put my hands under her and I grab onto the jacket and I pull her into me. And I'm like, I'm not letting you do this. This is not happening. Meanwhile, a lady comes up with her and her daughter must have been around 18 years old. They're holding on to her too, and she's 23. She's pulling back and just saying, "Let me go, let me go." And I said, "I'm not doing it. I'm not letting you go." This young girl, she was 18. She started crying and mouthing to her mum like, "I can't do this." So I then let go. I'm holding on to her through the railing. I let go of this arm. I then grabbed the 18-year-old and put my arm back through the railing. So I'm holding both of them.
Why are you holding the 18-year-old? Let her
because I just wanted her to feel comfortable. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. In the moment of time,
you're in it too, bitch.
Yeah. Well,
here.
And I was just trying to comfort her whilst I was doing this thing. I don't know. It just comes to my mind that I had to help her too.
Right.
So anyway, she's pulling off, and I realized she had Beats headphones, but they're all multicolored.
Yeah.
And I was like, I thought I need to get her to talk about something. I was like, oh, they're nice headphones. Where'd you get them from?
Hmm.
She's like, oh, I went Florida. And I was like, oh, when did you go to Florida?
This is the
She's
girl
like,
on the other side of the rail.
on the other side of the bridge. Yeah, she's trying to
He's trying to
jump.
chat her up.
Trying to talk to her. Yeah, trying to get her number.
I was like, right, she's vulnerable.
I can hook up now.
So I'm saying, oh, yeah, you know, where'd you get them from? She said, Florida. I went there with my mom, and I said, oh, would you like to go back? And she was talking, and then out of nowhere, she was like, just let me go. And just kept, she was, at this point, she's dangling. We're holding her, right?
No way.
Yeah. And I don't want to talk, but she wasn't
She'd
slim.
been bulking. She'd been bulking.
She was big. Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
300 pounds.
So anyway, the police then come up, and do you know what the police done? They shut the wrong side of the freaking motorway to start off with. So we're on the right hand side. Anyway, they finally shut the motorway. The police then come up, about 7 of them, and they're like, "Is everything okay? Are you okay?" And I was like, I just snapped for that. I was like, "What are you talking about? Let's rip her off."
Yeah.
So we all like ripped her off, and then they took her off into the ambulance, and I never saw her again. And then they were like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, yeah, I'm fine." Because for some reason, in high pressure situations, I go,
Calm down.
and I can just see everything. I know what needs to be done, and I have no.
You're like John Wick.
I just maybe, yeah. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. So yeah, and then they were like, I was like, I'm fine. They took my name and number and just said, like, you know, if there's any issues, call us.
Yeah.
And I got into my work van. Bearing in mind my work van's down the bottom of the bridge, doors open. Somehow my phones and that are still in there. And I get into the van, and I get this almighty like rush.
Yeah.
Of like my mate, Fouad, my hands were hurting from, I didn't realize, from gripping a jacket so tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, fast forward to a few weeks later, I got invited to go to basically like a ceremony kind of thing, where they hand you a plaque and you get a round of applause and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And I emailed back and I said, look, I really appreciate you reaching out and asking me, but I don't feel comfortable getting that kind of recognition.
Yeah.
So they sent me like a plaque with like a recognition from the chief constable and stuff. Yeah.
That's cool.
If there had been a check, he'd have gone.
Yeah. Yeah. He went for the money. Yeah.
So yeah, I
just saved somebody's life.
It's not something I talk about, and you know, it was something more recent that I dealt with as well, where I talked someone out of doing something crazy.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm very like high on, you know, talk to someone, and we all have, you know how it is, mate. We all have these dark sides, right?
Well, I don't know if you realize it, but I can't tell anymore because the stubble's growing back. But I did shave my beard.
Yeah, the tash,
the mustache for moving, for exactly what you're saying. Is I just listen. What you said earlier is 100% correct. If you have somebody that you can talk to, reach out. Don't keep it to yourself. Because more often than not, listen, people message me all the time. Hey, how you doing? And I'm just like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm doing good. Right. And that's what most guys say. They just kind of like move past it. But I think if you have somebody that you can,
it just takes one person.
But that's the sticking point though, right? Because you said if you've got someone to talk to, most people feel like they don't. When they do, they just don't understand that that person is available to talk to them. So they cut themselves off from it. That's the real issue, right?
Well, I'll give you an example.
Well, part of it. Not really.
3 nights ago, Ian messaged me out of the blue at like 11:30 at night. And he said, hey, how you doing? And I said, I'm doing okay. And he said, no, really, how you doing? So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to tell him. So we started talking, and we talked for like, we just texted back and forth for like half an hour. And then, you know, I asked him how he was doing, and we went just like, and after that, like we both felt better. So sometimes it just takes like knowing somebody else is listening or knowing somebody else is there for you that can make you feel better alone. They don't necessarily have to solve your problems. Just talking to somebody about your problems can sometimes help.
Just hear it. You don't. Sometimes you don't even need it. You don't even need to reply. Just let me get it out.
Yeah. I just mean, like, some people think like, well, what's the point? That person's not going to solve my problems. Sometimes it's not even about the solution. It's just getting it out and having somebody else hear you.
You know what can also help if you're not comfortable talking about your problems, listen to somebody else's problems.
That's
Yeah.
what yeah,
Helping them with
Because
their problems.
yeah, and now
yeah,
yeah, because there's two things that one puts things in perspective for you, and
yeah.
you recognize that you're not just suffering in your own,
Yes.
like everyone has their own things they're fighting. But second, you now feel better about yourself because you've helped your friend out, and
So
there's nothing better than that.
Yeah.
so last weekend, a few of us, a few guys that come and supported me at the British, I got from the gym. I organised like a little gym trip to another gym. It was like this Norton's gym. It's an old school like kit with Tyvek stuff you can't find. Anyway, we was all there. We're all kind of like in our early 30s, and we all sat down and had some food after. And I said, "Do you know what, lads? We all spend 95% of our lives on our own,
Hmm.
right?" And I said, "We're all sitting here, and I've just realised that we've all pretty much just opened up, and we're all going through the same kind of shit where we're trying to figure our own. We're getting to that point where we're trying to figure ourselves out,
Yeah.
relationships, work, this, that, and the other." And like Ben was just saying, like you find yourself giving someone advice, and then you're thinking, and then I laughed and was like, I should fucking listen to the same my own advice. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like, and we all left that conversation feeling charged
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we all listened to each other, everyone spoke, and we all helped each other.
Yeah.
And it was a really nice moment. And I said, this is the stuff that we should be doing more of, and we should do more gym trips, and we should do more
Yeah.
this, more that.
Well,
Because
listen.
as bodybuilders, sorry,
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I said as bodybuilders, you do find yourself isolating yourself a little bit sometimes, right?
100%.
Um, and I just wanted to, yeah, it was just a really nice moment when sometimes you can just sit down with a group of lads, like you guys do sometimes,
Yeah.
sit down, have a cigar around the fire, shooting some shit. It doesn't even have to get deep, but
No.
having a laugh, it just change. You just feel like a different man.
Well,
I said
listen.
that I text you after the last podcast and was like,
Yeah.
I just fucking needed that, man.
Yeah.
Like
I
I laughed and felt good.
I said this on another podcast. I didn't need, like, Paul was an amazing training partner because he was there every day for me. I didn't need Paul to like succeed as a bodybuilder. Like, I think my best years actually were when I wasn't training with Paul. No, don't tell Paul that, but I love having Paul there because we, like, even to this day, I'll pick him up. We'll talk on the way to the gym. We'll get to the gym. We'll drink our pre-workouts. We usually talk for that 20, 30 minutes while we're drinking our pre-workouts, and then we'll train.
Mm.
He told me something I didn't know. When I was in the hospital for 2 months, recovering from the motorcycle accident, he told me he felt like he didn't have anybody to talk to. And he said those were really hard months for him. I was selfish thinking I was going through something hard in the hospital. And he was like, I didn't realize he was dealing with something because he didn't have anybody to talk to for those 2 months while I was in the hospital. So,
Mm.
like, just like I'm just kind of adding on to what you're
Yeah,
saying, Carl, is just having
yeah,
somebody to shoot the shit with every day is like, can just help you in that, just that little bit, you know?
couldn't agree more. I mean, again, the same with me and my training partner Zach. There's quite often that we're kind of starting the session or going through the session where we're venting to each other. Sometimes we just listen
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just let each other just go off on about something, and then
Yep.
and it just feels good. Or it's just that opinion, or just like you say, another pair of ears. So I totally get it.
I'm just
Yeah.
going to read a couple of these real quick. Always been a fan of this podcast because of how it addresses mental health. My YouTube autoplay put this podcast on while I was grieving my brother unaliving in an
Oh
apartment.
man.
Apologize for that, but I'm glad we could do something to make you feel like there's others with you. Some people don't want to share their burden, but it's a lot easier to carry something heavy with someone else than by yourself. That's the fucking,
Mate,
that's
there's a
the,
saying I like: a
that's
problem
the
shared is a
100%.
problem halved.
Do that again?
A problem shared is a problem halved.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen. Good podcast today. Thank you guys for shooting the shit.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on, man.
Yeah, it was a good, so it's your first time, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming on, man. We'll
Thank
have you
you.
on more often. It's a good
Appreciate it.
chat. What are you guys
Appreciate it.
doing now? So you're there, you're at Ben's for what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah, I'm here for a couple of weeks. Yeah, I'm basically in this side of the pond for 4 weeks.
Ben's gonna kill you in the gym now for the next 4 weeks.
Well, yeah, hopefully
We
I'll
got
have a
your
back.
back.
Yeah. I'll probably pop over to obviously Destination Way at one point and be there, but mainly I'm here with Ben.
Yeah,
And
you're
we
also a
just,
gasp athlete, so you're probably gonna do some
yeah,
stuff on gas while you're there.
yeah, I'll do a bit over there as well. Yeah, so
Okay.
and then we've got some fun stuff to do for you too. So
Yeah, we're gonna be doing,
yeah,
some shoots
yeah,
and stuff, so that's good.
yeah.
All right,
I mean, Fouad, I'm going to say it publicly, mate, but I appreciate you taking a chance on a little old me.
dude.
So,
I love seeing Ben knows this. I love seeing guys kind of go like Samson, right? I picked up
mm,
Samson when we picked up Samson at Hostile. Not only is he a good person, but I
mm,
was like, that's a fucking beautiful shape.
mm,
I loved seeing him over the course of 4 years just like develop. And it's the same thing. I think your structure is awesome. I think you have potential to be one of the best in the world. And I love seeing you guys, you and Ben, especially it's even more like rewarding for me because you're working with one of my friends.
yeah, yeah,
So
fair,
it's like it's
yeah,
cool to see you guys kind of do this thing together where you like develop you into a fucking amazing athlete. And I get to be part of it as like a
yeah.
sponsor. So it makes me happy too. So
No, honestly, I appreciate. I've said it many times, but feel like I'm living in my dream, and I'm just very grateful to do what we're doing. So
we're gonna do
yeah,
more. We're gonna do a lot more, Carl.
yeah,
Let's see. Let's make sure 26 is fucking a banger, and then we'll do a lot more.
feel more.
But
Hell yeah.
for now, we'll wrap there. Ben, we're good.
Yes.
Anything you want to say before we go?
No, good, good.
Okay, boys. I hope you guys have a good training session today, or whatever, or eat your fucking
Drive safe, mate. Please.
get to 300 pounds, Carl, and
Yeah.
we'll see.